Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Colleen and I've got a bit of a later start today, but that's okay. It works into our schedule. So today I'm going to prepare a chicken broccoli bake or casserole for the oven. And I will gather up the things I need to get started, and I will be right back after this. Okay folks, it's taken me just a few minutes to gather up everything that I'm going to need for this video. And I have already going in the microwave a package of stuffing mix. You could make your own stuffing mix, or you could choose to serve this over rice that you've pre-cooked or something along that line. But today I'm going to use stuffing mix, and to make it a little easier on myself, I'm going to do a few shortcuts. One of them is I'm using some chicken breasts from some piece of rotisserie chicken. I'm using the stuffing mix, and other than that I'm going to just carry on. We'll do a quick step with the broccoli too. So this chicken broccoli bake takes a little while in the oven, but it doesn't take that long once you have all the components in the, gathered up and everything close by you to mix this all together. There are a few components though. So right now I'm just going to get this broccoli down to bite-sized pieces, and so that they'll sit nice in the dish. That won't take me very long at all. I need about 3 cups of broccoli and 2 cups of chicken, and you could certainly use fresh chicken and just fry it up, or bake a chicken in the oven. There is my microwave beeping that tell me that the stuffing mix is ready. And this is kind of a layered dish, so we just need to get all the components ready, and then we can start layering. The one thing that I'm not going to cheat on is the sauce. You could use cream of chicken soup, which was, is still a favorite among people who make casseroles. Or you could even use cream of mushroom soup. But I'm going to make the the sauce from scratch, because I just think that it tastes better. So here we go. I think our broccoli is pretty much all ready. So the shortcut that I'm going to do here with the broccoli is I'm going to put it into the Instant Pot. Now this may seem a little weird because we really only need to steam this, but the Instant Pot does a really good job of steaming it. All we have to do is put it into the Instant Pot and set our time for 0 minutes, which seems weird, but that's long enough for the pot to come up to pressure and stop. And that'll be enough time to have tender, crisp broccoli. So into the pot, lid on, lid on. Make sure that our pressure valve is on sealing, and then we're going to go pressure cook and take our time all the way down to 0. And it will start, pressure up, come up to temperature, and then it will shut itself off, which is exactly what we need it to do. There we go, it's started. So now I'm going to cut these chicken breasts into smaller pieces. We don't need very big pieces here. You could use more chicken if you like. I had the whole rotisserie chicken, and I bought the whole rotisserie chicken because it was cheaper than buying a chicken that I would bake. It was $13.99 for a chicken to bake, but it was only $12.99 for a rotisserie chicken, which all the work's already been done for you. So it seems like pretty simple math to me to do it that way. Now, I'm sure there's about 2 cups of chicken there. I'm just gonna wipe my hands and gather up my casserole dish and be right back. Okay, I have this 2-quart casserole dish, and I'm just gonna spray it with some cooking spray and make sure that I get it well coated, because cleanup can be horrible if I'm not taking those steps. And now I'm going to take the stuffing mix, which I've just done in the microwave oven, and I'm going to dump it into the pan and spread it out loosely. You don't want to pack it in, because we don't want it to be, you know, just like a big gloppy mess or anything like that. So loosely into the pan. And now we're just waiting for our broccoli. Ooh, you might have heard that little to-do, that little bell. That was the oven coming up to temperature. It's at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is where we're going to cook this kind of slowly. So we'll just wait on the broccoli. It's the next step, and then we'll carry on. The broccoli will be just a moment. There, our broccoli's ready, so I'm just going to do a quick release on the Instant Pot, and we'll be ready for the next step. Now I have the broccoli all cooked up, and I'm just going to layer it over top of the stuffing mix that's already in the pan. And I'm going to now take the chicken and I'm going to layer it on top of the broccoli. And then I'm going to take you over to the stove, and we're going to build the sauce that's going to go onto this dish. It's looking pretty good so far. Okay, in the pot right here I have 4 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to melt completely. And to that I'm adding 4 tablespoons of flour. We're going to make a simple, just a roux. And we're going to cook that for a couple of minutes to get the flour taste gone. And you can see that right away it starts to thicken up. The flour thickens up, and we need it to do that in order to have a nice creamy and thick sauce. So we'll just stir away, and I'll bring you back when we're ready for the next step. Now I'm going to start to put in the chicken stock, and I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken stock. But you'll be able to find all the measurements for everything in the description box below this video. I try always to make sure that the recipes are there, or a link to the recipe if I've gotten it from someone else. I link that below as well. So that was 1 cup, and I'm going to stir well in between to make sure I don't have lumps, because if you don't stir you're going to have lumps. Also, if you don't continue to stir, you are going to end up with it being scorched, and you definitely don't want to have that happen, or you'll have to start over. Okay, that was 1. We'll measure off the other one. And there's 2. And now I'm going to bring that back to a bubble. Now this is just about come back to the boil, which is where we want to bring it to. Well, we're up to a boil, so now I'm going to add the juice of half a lemon and stir that in well. And then in this dish I have a tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to add that in there now. Give that a good stir. Now I'm just turning the pot down, and I'm going to add 1 cup of sour cream and 1 cup of whipping cream or heavy cream. And I'm going to stir that in And when it looks like it's incorporated, I'm going to shut the stove off because I don't need it to cook the cream. So off it goes, and I will meet you back at the counter. Now, the last, well, second last ingredient maybe to go into this is some mustard. And I'm going to use Dijon mustard today, and I've got probably a teaspoon and a half, maybe closer to a tablespoon. And I'm going to stir that in along with 1.5 cups of grated cheese. And I just grated this myself, so I know that it should be nice and creamy and melt into that cheese sauce. What will now be a cheese sauce, it will melt in there really nice. Now this is a dish that you can start earlier on in the day and just have ready to put into the oven when it comes time for dinner. And it doesn't keep well, you know, so if you're making it today, you want to eat it today because the broccoli tends to get a little soggy. So I wouldn't try and make this dish to hold it over for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to pour the sauce over, and hopefully I've chosen the right dish for this. And there we go. I'm just gonna give it a little poke around the edges to let the sauce settle in there. And now we're going to, as if that wasn't enough, we're going to add a little more cheese to the top of that. Maybe another cup onto the top. And then I spent some time earlier today and I grated up or ground up some Ritz crackers. And I have the crackers in a bowl. I am just going to add to this a little bit of garlic powder. Maybe a teaspoon. And 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Now I'm just going to count the butter off here. I think I have enough melted here. In fact, I have the perfect amount melted here. And I am going to give this a good mix up. And this is going to go on top of the dish to add just a little bit of crunch to it. One of the things with casseroles is, generally speaking, they're kind of soft. So it's nice to be able to add something a little crunchy onto the top of it. Now, I've made them all in different sizes, so there's some of them that are really ground and other ones that are big chunks, and that's just perfect. So we'll put this on, give it a good layer. Now this was a small box, or I guess about 2 sleeves if that's how you're buying your Ritz crackers, about 2 sleeves. And there we go. Wow, folks, look at this. It's all bubbly and brown. It's toasted up really nice and it smells absolutely fantastic in here. I'm just going to grab a spoon and I'll dish some out so you can see what it looks like. I could have definitely made this in a 9x13 pan. It might have been the smarter thing to do, but this has functioned all right and I haven't dumped it all over the counter, so well, there we go. It is a pretty yummy looking meal, even though I've made an awful mess here. So folks, this is what it looks like as it comes out of the oven. You can probably still see it steaming. And this is what's for dinner tonight at our house, this chicken broccoli casserole. And I hope that you'll give it a try. and that if you've enjoyed this video, you will subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I would appreciate that a lot. So until next time, folks, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.